students, welcome to Karnataka Current Affairs. In this video, we are going to discuss about the March 3rd week Karnataka Current Affairs. So, it will be covering the 3rd week of the March. So, let us start with the discussion with regard to the first topic with regard to Shantavar Gopalgopal. The seasoned politician and the revolutionary politician, what we call is the ideal personality, one of the great political personalities that Karnataka has ever witnessed is Shantavar Gopalgopal. So, Shantavar Gopalgopal, why is in news? The government of Karnataka decided to celebrate the birth centenary of this Shantavar Gopalgopal, and also the government has decided to bring in 2 awards in name of Shantavar Gopalgopal. The 2 awards are the best farmer award will be named after him, and also the best legislator award will be also be named after him. So, these are the issues for which this personality is in news. Looking into the background of this seasoned politician and one of the most respected personality ever the Karnataka in the history of Karnataka's political history, the Shantavar Gopalgopal was born in Shivamoga district, okay, in Sagar Taluk, and he represented he has been a part of Karnataka State Legislative Assembly, and he has elected to the Vidhana Sabha for 3 times. Most important thing with regard to the famous personality is he is a staunch socialist, and he has dedicated his life for the cause of the poor, the downtrodden, and especially the farmers and the labor class. He has influenced by the Ram Manohar Lohiya's socialistic principles, and he is considered as the godfather or a godfather who has groomed the various politicians, including J.H. Patel, S.M. Krishna, and so on, even Devraj Aras. They are considered as the political students or political students of Shantavar Gopalgopal. And the famous Kagod Satyagraha, which he has initiated and led to the various reforms in the Karnataka Land Revenue Act, is majorly because of this personality. He has made various various changes through the agitation and through the farmers movement, so that the landless laborers, the landless the persons will get their due share in the land holdings. And also looking into his various other aspects, he is very close to the various noted writers of the Karnataka literature, and there was a novel written on his life called as Avaste. So, this may be important for the prelims. So, there was a book written on his lifestyle or on his life by Uvar Anantamurthy, that is Avaste, that is nothing but the state of life. The movie has also been screened or made on the same name, and it is also been it has also been shown. So, this is about the Shantavar Gopalgopal. You can add this word with regard to the GS mains also, Karnataka Land Revenue, in the Kagod Satyagraha also you can add his name, and also the most idealistic personality, even in ethics also you can add take the example of this person. Okay. Moving on to the next aspect, it is related to the PMKUSUM. The state government has decided to implement Pradhan Mantri Krishi Urja Suraksha Evam Uttam Abhiyan. This is the flagship program of central government, where it want to harness the solar energy. So, the government of Karnataka has decided to implement this scheme. The major aspects of this scheme is the cost of installing the solar panels or solar power sets will be shared between the center and states in the ratio of 60% by center and states, whereas the individual beneficiary or the farmer has to bear the cost of 40%. So, this is the modality in which they have been worked out, and all the beneficiaries will be selected through online mode, and the department which has been selected to look into the selection aspect and also the implementation of this scheme is Karnataka Renewable Energy Development Corporation. Karnataka Renewable Energy Development Corporation. So, it has been chosen as a nodal agency. So, if you look at the PMKUSUM modalities, So, it is a flagship program of Union Government of India, where it wants to harness the solar energy, especially for the farmers' benefit. Under the PM-KUSUM, the scheme comes under three components: component A, component B and component C. In component A, it majorly talks about decentralized energy based power plants. So, it majorly talks about the decentralized energy based power plants, and with focus to generate 500 kilowatt up to 2 megawatt, So, this under component A, the farmer can install the solar panels for the decentralized power utilization. It will be not connected to the grid, and he will have the option to generate from 500 kilowatts up to the 2 megawatt, and majorly it is set up either in the barren land or in the fallow land or in the cultivable land, even under crops also, where the panels will be erected and that the power can be harnessed and can be utilized by the farmer. Here it can be a farmer, a individual group of farmers, farmer, producer organization or self help groups, anyone can set up this, can come under this component. Okay. And majorly the focus here is it should be, has to be set up in a closed aspect, so that in the decentralized energy harnessing it will be fruitful. So, and then is the component B. Under the component B, it talks about stand-alone solar agriculture pumps. Stand-alone solar agriculture pumps means it is majorly established for the individual usage up to 7.5 horsepower. For the irrigation pump sets, rather than depending on the diesel engines or other mode of energy, this component will act as a replacement for them. And in the component C, it majorly talks about what we call it as grid connected solar energy power plants, where the excess energy which has been generated can be given to the ESCOMs, so that it will act as a benefit for the farmers in a two-way benefit. The power which can be generated can be utilized and the excess power can be connected to the grid. So, this is the modality in which the PM-KUSUM works. The PM-KUSUM is considered as one of the important initiative of the government in order to achieve at least 40% of our energy by 2030 from the renewable energy sources. So, it is a part of what we call it as intended national determined contributions, INDCs, which have been has been set up by the government of India under during the Paris agreement, Paris climate talks. Okay. Moving on to the next aspect, this the government of Karnataka has brought in a new initiative or a program called as Kandaya Dakale Maneya Bagalige. So, this program is a novel initiative of government of Karnataka, where all documents related to the revenue records will be delivered at the doorsteps of the beneficiaries or the customers by the government of Karnataka through its revenue department officers. So, this initiative will be a boost to the government ease of doing governance, where the initiatives will help in strengthening the relations between the government and also the beneficiaries. So, it is like what we call it as a aspect of good governance. So, earlier there is a provision in the Karnataka Land Revenue Act, where they have to deliver the land revenue records at the doorsteps of the beneficiaries. So, this program has been started by the government of Karnataka. Moving on to the next aspect, it is regarding to the University of Mysore, honoring late Puneet Rajkumar with doctorate. So, this can be asked in the prelims or in any competitive exam, objective competitive exams, where which university has been awarded Puneet Rajkumar the doctorate. It is the University of Mysore. The coincidence is the University of Mysore has also awarded doctorate to his father, late Dr. Rajkumar, also in the year 1976. Apart from Puneet Rajkumar, two more eminent personalities will also be honored doctorate apart from Puneet Rajkumar. The noted personalities are Vasudev Kalkunti Athari. He is the former defense scientist and former Director General of DRDO. He was also a scientific advisor to the defense minister. So, he has a rich legacy with regard to the defense scientist, and also he made immense contribution with regard to his advice and programs when he was the director of DRDO. So, he has also been awarded with the doctorate award. Apart from him, one more personality, that is Malavalli Mahadev Swami. So, Malavalli Mahadev Swami is a folk artist who is also will be honoring with the doctorate. So, moving on to the next aspect. This is an MOU signed between HAL and SAFFRON. So, this is important. So, HAL and SAFFRON has signed a MOU, Memorandum of Understanding. So, this SAFFRON is a aircraft company or aircraft manufacturing company based from France. So, it is a France based company. India has a close relations with this company since decades together with regard to the defense relations. So, recently this company has signed an MOU, Memorandum of Understanding, with the HAL to establish a new facility called as MRO Private Limited at Satari in Goa. So, this MRO mainly talks about maintenance, repair and overhaul. So, this maintenance, repair and overhaul of the aircraft engines, majorly with regard to helicopter, this institute will come handy in servicing or providing its service to the defense sector, majorly the Indian Navy and majorly Indian military, Air Force and also the Navy. So, this is a major landmark with regard to the defense, enhancing the defense capabilities of the government of India. So, moving on, if you understand some of the peculiarities with regard to the SAFFRON, these SAFFRON helicopter engines are the one, this is one of the company which has manufactured engines for India's various helicopters and also the aircraft vehicles. The major beneficiaries are the aircraft Chetak, Cheetal. So, light utility helicopter, so light combat helicopter and advanced light helicopter, all these helicopters run on the engines majorly developed by the SAFFRON company. And also the Shakti engine, which has been used by the HAL's, Hindustan Aeronautic Limited's Dhruv aircraft, Rudra and also the what we call it as the light combat aircraft helicopter LCH is all majorly made with the assistance from the SAFFRON. So, this is the major aspects with regard to the SAFFRON Limited, which has been a French based company. So, next, moving on to the next aspect with regard to the major issue is hijab. So, recently the High Court of Karnataka has given its verdict with regard to the hijab. So, it has said that wearing hijab is not a part of essential religious practice. It is not a part of essential religious practice of Islam. So, it is based on this aspect. The High Court has ruled that all the students, irrespective of religion, caste, gender, and has to wear the uniform. Apart from the uniform, they are prohibited from wearing or using any other materials. This is the verdict the High Court has pronounced. Based on this, now all the wearing of hijab in the school premises is prohibited. The court also observed, various observations have been made by the court, which is said that the prescription of school uniform does not violate either the freedom of speech and expression under Article 19 or right to privacy under the Article 21 of the Constitution. So, it has said that the prescription of uniforms will not violate Article 19 nor the article 21, and also it said that it is a reasonable restriction which can be imposed on the society or on the students to wear the school uniform. So, it is not violates the constitution, and also it has said that it does not form, wearing of the hijab does not form the part of essential religious practice of Islam. So, it has given various aspects with, it has observed how what has been observed in the Quran, it has taken a Quran saying and also has pronounced some of the sayings in the Quran. You can refer our current affairs to access the details of the descriptions which were given there. Apart from that, it has also said that the article 14 and 15 is also not the article 14 which talks about the discrimination or arbitrariness is also not applicable under this, so that it will also not violate the article 14 or 15. So, having said that, the High Court has employed what we call it as doctrine of essentiality. So, this is the doctrine modulated by the Supreme Court of India, which talks about to determine what forms the part of religious practices and which does not form the part of religious practices can be determined by the courts. So, based on the doctrine of essentiality also we can conclude that the wearing of the hijab is not the essential practice under the Islam. Okay. So, this is with regard to the hijab verdict by the Honorable High Court. Then moving on to the next aspect is with regard to the another important aspect with regard to ISAK Center. So, following on with the various aspects with regard to Indian Institute of Science, the follow on philanthropist, earlier in the previous session also we discussed various philanthropists has donated around 450 crores with regard to the establishment of multidimensional research oriented institutions in the Indian Institute of Science. Following on with this, the another two important personalities called as Ajit ISAK and Sarah ISAK have donated 105 crores to establish a multidiscipline institution in the Indian Institute of Science. It is also that center will be called as ISAK Center on Public Health. This center will give us the dual degree program with regard to the Master of Public Health. It includes PhD also for a 5 to 6 year term, and also it gives Master of Public Health of a MTech equivalent whatever 3 years term of a 3 year duration. So, this will help in collaboration of education and research. So, what we call it as the bench to bed philosophy, in order to inculcate the research into the patients, give the effective results, this institute has been coming up. So, this is a major important breakthrough in order to face the upcoming the health challenges, where we need not to focus on the postmortem on the post disease analysis, it should be pre-disease analysis. We need to understand with regard to research and analyze the health in a holistic manner. This is the initiative in order to address that issue. So, moving on to the next aspect. So, it is a flight control system FCS. So, flight control system has been inaugurated at ADE, Aeronautical Development Establishment at DRDO center in Bangalore. So, Aeronautical Development Establishment at DRDO in Bangalore, the flight control system has been established. This is the major initiative. What it will do is this flight control system will provide a simulator training to pilots of combat aircrafts. So, it will give us a simulator based training for the combat aircraft. So, these simulators will provide a real time situation where the pilot can undergo the various training procedures, including the difficult procedures without causing much harm to the pilot or the aircraft. So, this is one of the major breakthroughs in order to train the defense personalities. Moving on to the next aspect, it is regard to the plastic waste management rules. 2021, the amendment to the plastic waste management rules and 2021, what it says that from July 1st 2022, from July 1st, from July 1st 2022, there is a complete ban on production, marketing and use of single use plastics. So, there is a complete ban the government has taken in order to make sure that there is no use of single use plastics. So, this is considered as one of the major polluting material which has caused tremendous negative impact on the environment and nature. In order to overcome that, the government has amended the plastic management rules. According to it, the single usage plastics such as the chocolate covers may be or the straws may be. So, what we use on a single usage which have been thrown into the nature or into the surroundings, which is causing so much damage to the environment and also causing great damage to the health of the various flora and fauna. In order to minimize the impact, the government has decided to discard or eliminate the usage of the single usage plastics. Adding on to the few points here, it may be very helpful for the objective type questions and also for even you can add it in the mains paper GS 3 in science and technology also. Here the government with effect from 30th September 2021 has increased the thickness of the plastic bags. The plastic bags thickness has been increased from 50 microns to 75 microns. So, this may be very important. It has been the question has already been asked in the KPSC with regard to the thickness of the plastic. So, you need to update. So, from the 50 it has been increased to 75 now. Now, the government is planning from 31st December 2022, the thickness of the plastic will be increased from 75 to 120 microns. From the 75 thickness, it will be increased to 120 microns. So, this is also an initiative with regard to minimizing the thickness, so that the clogging, the disposal of the plastic to the nature and being a threat to the nature can be minimized and it can be eliminated in the phased manner. So, these are the various developments which have took place with regard to Karnataka related thing in the March 3rd week. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you.